workplace.
Amanda Hoyt of Faith in Public Life wants Ohio lawmakers to allow pregnant women to do things that would make them more comfortable.
Extra access to the restroom, maybe carrying a water bottle.
This is really such an obvious law that women should be able to work and be pregnant at the same time without worrying.
From the University of Scranton gathered to watch the Pope's address to Congress.
The university is a Jesuit school. Pope Francis is the world's first Jesuit pope. Story.
About 100 University of Scranton students filed into this lecture hall and waited quietly.
No, I actually missed class to be here.
University officials put the Pope up on the big screen as he addressed a joint meeting of Congress in Washington, D.C. This crowd watching in Scranton supports what many people believe, that Pope Francis is a modern pope that's caught the attention of young people. Mary Ellen Kane live tweeted her favorite moments.
Definitely his call for, promoting dignity for everybody and really being a voice for the people who are most vulnerable in society.
First, issue of climate change, he called all of us to care for our common home, and I do think you're going to see that message break through. I mean, we are not disconnected from the environment. We are one. We see it as God's creation, and we're called to be prudent stewards. And I think, that's a message, again, that will resonate far beyond sort of...
Tonight on the ongoing battle to bring Syrian refugees into the state. A group of Kansas faith leaders are challenging Governor Sam Brownback to change his position. KSNT News' Tyler Carter has more on why this group has joined thousands across the country in protesting the actions of state leaders.
A coalition made up of 6 faith and civic leaders presented an open letter to Governor Sam Brownback today, asking him to reconsider his stance against resettling Syrian refugees in Kansas. Brownback issued an executive order blocking any state money from being used to relocate Syrian immigrants from fleeing ISIS from coming to Kansas.
We're hoping that the governor takes this into account and that we as faith leaders understand that the church is in some ways the conscience of the state.
Following the press conference on the South Lawn, the group presented their 400-plus signed petition to the governor's office.
Governor Brownback and many other governors are making these big orders and big decisions based on false information, and that's unacceptable.
And Kansans aren't the only ones in challenging their governor. More than 2,000 faith leaders nationwide have signed on to a letter rejecting the United States governor's orders to closing their state doors to Syrian refugees. Reporting from the State House, Tyler Carter, KSNT News.
If you would like to read the faith leaders' open letter to the governor, we posted a copy on our website. Here in Jacksonville.
Behind this podium is where dozens of clergymen and local pastors gathered today to talk about the HRO. They wanted their message to be clear. They do have a strong belief system, but also believe in inclusion. It's a topic that for many is long overdue.
I think that Jacksonville is ready for it, even though we may have some objection.
Tuesday, a human rights ordinance will be introduced in front of Jacksonville City Council. The goal? Make sure everyone in the city has equal rights in housing, employment, and public accommodations, regardless of sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression.
We are such a great city and are a great place to live, but to be one of only a few cities left that doesn't have a human rights ordinance like this on the books is really a shame for the city.
Controversy struck recently when radio and TV ads went out about the HRO, claiming it would make the black church, quote, weak and anemic. Pastor R.L. Gundy says that's absurd.
The language that came up that's very divisive. They know what they're trying to do.
The public will have a chance to weigh in on this debate over the next 2 months at council meetings. Most here believe this is a no-brainer civil rights issue.
Just put it on the books and let it roll.
More than 100 faith-based leaders have publicly signed their name to this movement and are encouraging more to get on board. Reporting in Springfield, Erica Bennett, CBS 47, Action News Jax.